If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it.
I don't want to get my hopes up, and I just want to be realistic and enjoy the run, or enjoy the wave while I'm on it, and hopefully I don't fall off. But if I do, I'll just swim back around and catch the next one.
Can you see yourself directing, do you think?
Yes, absolutely. It's one of my big goals, a goal in which I don't want to rush. You know, I'm 24, I've got plenty of time ahead of me to do it.
As I'm falling asleep, I think about Spider-Man.
It's interesting, you know, as someone who lives in the public eye and goes to red carpets and does chat shows and all that sort of stuff, you have to give off this exterior that I am not vulnerable. You cannot faze me. I am okay in any situation. And you slowly start to believe that. That is something that slowly starts to take over. So for me to play a character who is so vulnerable and is so closed off from the world was really quite a hard challenge to just change my mindset. There were moments where I sort of sat down with my brother and I was like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can come to work tomorrow. I'm like a shell of who I am. I was lucky enough that my hair and makeup artist, my costumer, my brother, my dialect coach were all there with me. And they are all my friends. They're my best friends. I work with them every single day. We all live very close to each other. We see each other every weekend. We're like the best of friends. So I think for them at times, they were wondering if I was going too far. You know, I lost an obscene amount of weight, and I think at times, I remember Anthony, especially my costumer, sort of saying like, please, will you just come out to dinner with me and have a burger? So the physical challenges for me is something that I love. The mental challenges is what I find more difficult. But I work with an acting coach called Ben Perkins, who's a great friend of mine, and he is able to kind of dig these characters out of me, which is really fun.
How does he do that? Do you mind me asking?
It's just a trust thing, really. He's just really good at kind of getting it out of me, and I trust him, and I love him. So I'm able to kind of feel comfortable. My New York accent just came from working with my dialect coach, really, Pretty Ricky, White Stallion. As I live and breathe. We love Ricky, he's the man. He was with me every day on set, and for a couple of months before we started shooting, and we would just drill through the accent and read the script every day and just put in the work. And it was really useful for me because it got to a point where it wasn't even a thing anymore. I could do it whenever. He was with me every day on set, and for a couple of months before we started shooting, and we would just drill through the accent and read the script every day and just put it in the work. We would talk about things that make us uncomfortable, like we talk about, like, oh, I'm a bit nervous about this scene, and she would talk about how she was a bit nervous about that scene, and just having that open dialogue between the two of us meant that when we were on set and we were most vulnerable, we felt safe because we were together.
Like on something like this, you can be loose and around and swear and stuff, but you got to be really careful when you're doing the press junket stuff because
it's a kids movie.
Not only that, but they will try to, like, their whole thing is just about getting traffic and click shit.
Oh, absolutely.
And so you could just say one thing sort of sideways, like Tom Holland says, you know.
And the thing I have learned the hard way is print interviews, sarcasm doesn't come across.
But even the junkets, like the video interviews, it's just like they'll just clip something out of context.
Oh,
no, but I didn't
mean that.
I've been up for like 4 days straight.
But that's why they don't do cross coverage on you, I don't think, because then you can't cut from two shots. I was thinking about this the other day, because if you did cross coverage, you could splice sentences together. But because there's only one camera, if you cut, you would like jerk.
Well, hopefully we don't get to a point where they just start inventing things that you said.
They just completely CGI you, you know? Marvel could make Spider-Man 2 without me. They have so many scans. I have stood in a thong in front of laser beams so many fucking times.
Not even for work, just because.
First day on Civil War, I did no shooting. I basically stood on this spinny table in a thong. Like, I thought Spider-Man was going to be, like, heroic and stuff. Like, this is the worst.
Do you worry about the future, though? Because obviously, when they're first starting out, it's fantastic and they're getting roles and it's the big break and that's fantastic. But in anyone's life, when you're 20 years old, the stuff that I did between 20 and 30, some of it was stupid. Relationships don't always work. You're not going to meet the person you're going to stay with forever when you're 20 these days.
Well, I did, but most people don't. I mean, I met my wife when I was 19, but no, it's a great question. Benedict Cumberbatch, who Tom made a movie with last year in London called The Current War. And Benedict said online or in an interview, what's the greatest thing that's ever happened to you, Benedict? And he said, not getting famous in my 20s. And that resonated with me, because Tom's not going to have that privilege. And the scrutiny that Tom is going to come under, I think, will become a little tiresome. You know, he goes places now and he can't leave the hotel. That's going to become tiresome. But listen, that's what we knew that going into it. He knew that going into it. And so there is a downside, but I think that's compensated for by the upside. And you just have to manage it. And you've got to keep a handle on normality.
There's no real end goal, really. I just love doing what I do, and I'm so lucky to be doing it at the level I'm doing it. So I'm just going to try and continue for as long as I can keep faking it until the world figures out I'm actually. We do listen to each other all the time with social media and the press. You know, everyone is trying to like push out content and their lives and all this sort of stuff. But the difference is that lots and lots of people push out what they want you to see. What I've learned from Zendaya is that it's really important to make your Instagram an accurate representation of who you are as a person. You see lots of Instagram accounts and you're like, there's no way you're like that in real life. Like, this is the fake you that you want people to see. What's up? It's your boy Spider-Man. That was so cool. Hey, it's Tom. How you doing? I'm taking you to the Oscars. Follow me and we'll have a good time. And it'll be great. First tip when you're getting ready for the Oscars is to wear Marc Jacobs 24-hour concealer.
Foundation.
Yes, sorry. So as you guys know, Christine's been my hairstylist now for 6 months? And today, on the biggest day of our lives, she decided to use all new products that we've never used before. Is it really the day to improvise?
Yes.
It looks good. I'm happy. The Oscar goes to... The Oscar goes to... Oh... Stressed. It doesn't really matter if I get the names that wrong. Because when you read out the Oscar, they're walking up, there's music playing, the camera's on them walking up. All of Rachel's stuff is packed in halfway through my hair. So Peter Parker's going to look like this today. And in the Spider-Man suit, you genuinely can't see anything. Like, if I was wearing the suit now, I wouldn't be able to see you. It's sort of about 4 feet.
I just presumed that we wouldn't have the mask on, and they'd add that on post-production, on CGI.
Well, I think that is the next step, because wearing a sweaty mask all day as a teenager, like, the acne I got after this movie was horrendous.
He was just drawing out all the spots.
Oh, I went into this movie fresh-faced and, like, ready to, like, make a movie, and I take the mask off, and everyone's like, yeah, can you put that back on? I'm
in
like,
fact, keep it on for the whole movie.
Yeah, so I had a bit of an attack of the old acne during this movie.
Does Peter Parker still get, like, breakouts on his face and stuff?
I do, so
you
he does, yeah. Day of the premiere, I have a big old spot here, and the frizz is real. Come on.
Original?
This is original. This
Wow.
is without a Brazilian wax.
Heavy
This
at
is
all.
just natural golden beauty. I don't have to shave my legs because I'm like a prepubescent teenager. I haven't grown hair on my legs yet. Here, look, I'll just give you a little glance.
Oh my god! Holy mackerel! Oh.
Vanity is such a poisonous thing for an actor. I spent my entire life growing up making films and worrying about what I look like. Are people going to like my hair? Does my makeup look good? Do I look good? And obviously in Sherry, we let go of that because at times it was about looking as horrendous as possible. You spend your entire career being incredibly vain. It's kind of what the nature of being an actor. You're always looking at yourself on screen and you go, oh, I wish I'd gone to the gym more, or I wish I'd done my hair differently, and all that sort of stuff. So through feeling that freedom and from letting that go, it's totally changed my perspective on the way I act, the way I perform, the way I think about certain things, and it's got rid of a lot of insecurities for me. And I'm able to just be happier in myself, which is an amazing thing to be able to learn. And I'm very happy that I learned it at the age of 24. Vanity means nothing. On every film I've done before Jerry, you go back and you watch the monitor and then you say to your hair and makeup artist, would you mind just making my hair look a bit neater? Or would you mind just covering that spot up a little bit? Taking away those insecurities of how do I look okay, has allowed me to just be much more confident in my own skin, and also allowed me to kind of portray characters in a more truthful way, because I'm not trying to make them look good, I'm just trying to make them be truthful. You know what, at the time I was really upset about breaking my nose, but I'm really happy I did in the end. I actually kind of like the fact that my nose is a little crooked.
So I always think a Marvel film has almost three life cycles, the life cycle of a Marvel film. So there's the film coming out, then there's the initial reaction, and then there's the memes that come with it.
Oh, nice.
You must be very comfortable now with being memed.
I love being memed.
I want to talk to you about some of my favourite ones, with including both of you.
Okay.
Tom, you've commented on this one.
The frog one.
He looks like he's hiding a frog in his mouth, and it's uncomfortably hopping around in there. But he can't open his mouth, or the frog's going to escape.
You know what's funny about that one is I posted that picture myself to show people that I thought it was really funny, and then weeks go by and I'd look at myself in the mirror and be like, maybe I do look like I have a frog in my mouth. I went into a little spiral.
Do you have to change? You just be like a massive grin now instead of...
No, I've just accepted the frog. If you don't accept me for who I am with my frog, then go away. This is interesting. The Tom Holland starter pack. I think this is referring to the fact that I have really, really tiny lips, and when I smile, it looks like my lips disappear. And I was a very late developer, so I was at school and I looked like a 12-year-old. Everyone looked like 20-year-olds, and now they're paying the price because they all look like 50-year-olds. For lunch.
Yeah, we did.
At that river place.
Yeah.
And then I caught the menu. Whoa. Do you remember that?
It was super
That was pretty
Spider-Man,
cool.
yeah. Like the menu, the wind blew and the menu flew out. He was just like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he caught the menu.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like, perfectly.
And I also wasn't cool about it either. I didn't like catch it and put it down. I was like, did you see that? I love myself, in a good way, not in a way like, oh, I'm so handsome.
Right.
I just really enjoy my life. I'm just so happy in my own skin.
I promote self-love, and I think I have to live that too, so I definitely try not to be critical of myself and my appearance. I think it's not fair to say someone is full of themselves or whatever if they actually just love themselves. So I'm not going to say that I dislike anything about my appearance. I'm going to love myself.
Justin Bieber, with what he's been doing with that show that he did on YouTube, I just really enjoyed that because it was nice to see that someone who goes through it in the biggest way possible also has a hard time, and I just felt like there was a real solidarity for young people going through. No one goes through it like he does, but we all go through it in a little bit, and I just was really grateful to see that side of him, I guess. I'm just really happy that he's happy. He just seems so happy, and it just made me really happy.
It's on Twitter, and that if you see the Tom Holland umbrella performance from the lip sync battle, that you must watch or share it.
I love that.
It's the law.
That's a great law. I get more compliments from dancing in the rain in fishnets than I do for anything I've done. Something I love about that film, about doing that show, was I remember I got a letter from a school teacher telling me that there was a young boy at school who would prefer to dress in women's clothing, and he was getting bullied at school for it. And he said to someone, he was like, well, Spider-Man does it. And for me, that was I really relished in the idea that there was positivity that had come from it, because for me at the time I was just dancing on a TV show and I felt like a bit of an idiot. But I really look back on it fondly now, knowing that someone kind of took something from it and it was positive and helped someone deal with something. So if you do watch my lip sync battle, share it, like it, let's make it the biggest video on YouTube. Which character am I most similar to in real life? I'd have to say Peter Parker.
Oh, yeah.
Peter Parker has this impossible need to impress people, And sometimes that's a great thing, and sometimes it's a really bad thing, because I get really stressed that I've upset people all the time. And it can be as simple as someone comes in and I go, morning, and they're like, morning. And I'm like, oh no, what have I done?
I'm exactly the same.
And sometimes that can be a really bad thing, but then also it equally can be a great thing because it gives me the motivation to work really hard and to push myself and to make sure that I am impressing people. And I think Peter Parker suffers from that as well.
I know, it's killing me. This is Peter Parker.
Don't you have an elsewhere to be?